Oh shit. See you later. You too. Why don't you go over too? Thank you. Oh, you're not dead? Okay, see you later. Oh. Okay. Let's see here. I love stealth games, I really do. Really interesting that you're coming directly to me. Where am I currently? Here? Shouldn't I be able to fast travel somewhere? Gotta reopen the game. Assassin's Creed would be in the A's, right? Yeah. Five mastery points? You gotta be kidding me. The starter pack has 5 mastery points, so you get a leg up. That's legitimately nuts. Oh, that's level 35. I should wait to go there. I gotta be honest, I think I need a little second monitor with this game.
A royal color or a royal pat.
Hey!
You gonna be on the couch? Hey, Alvin. Be cool, dude.
No, he's a little man.
Do you want anything to drink? I got waters, I got caffeine drinks, teas, coffees, etc.
No, I'm good. Where you over here? Over here?
Sure this is okay? Or do I bring him upstairs?
He's fine.
All right, cool.
Okay, you got a friend. Hey, baby.
Talking to me?
No.
I was talking to him.
Oh, okay. So you just gotta calm down, that's all. I don't want you to bite my hand. Yeah? Just gotta calm down.
Season 2, episode 4. Let's cut your hair. Season 2, episode 4.
Yes.
Scoot doo, blabbity blue, scoop dee. Oh yeah!
You gotta calm down. My mama used to love these dogs. Yeah, you gotta get a massage. Thank you, baby. Oh, you gonna make you a new phone? You wanna go home with me and get you a black Thanksgiving?
You always have a Black Thanksgiving. Wherever, all Thanksgivings are Black Thanksgivings.
No, they're not. Lies, you tell it.
Then you don't have enough advocates around. For a limited time, our listeners get 15% off their first order at theperfectgene.nyc. Plus, you get free shipping. Or Google The Perfect Gene and use code TISO15 for 15% off.
That's 15% off for new customers at theperfectgene.nyc with promo code TISO15. That sounds like a pretty good deal.
After your purchase, they're going to ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Jinx, you owe me a Red Bull.
Double Jinx. I want a pair of Perfect Gene.
Fuck your khakis and get The Perfect Gene. This episode is brought to you by Squarespace. Go to squarespace.com/TISO for a free trial.
And when you're ready to launch, make sure to use offer code TISO for 10% off.
Off your first purchase of a website or domain.
So awesome.
That's code TISO to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Man, but it's
Blueberg, Colorado. I might.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
was that talked about in the writers' room? Do you even know?
Yes, it was. It was.
Yeah.
But it was also very much true to me because my daughter, my oldest daughter, feel that way about her daddy, and my son don't. I mean, my son.
I don't know what you. I don't know what
You
you just.
talking about the finale?
Yeah, but I saw what would happen with this, and I wasn't present with you anymore because I was debating if I get a lip roller or not.
No, you're fine. I'm just not gonna have him. You're fine. I have a dog.
Okay.
No. So with the finale of season 4, the Miss Pat show, that rung home for me because my daughter feels that way by her real father.
Mm-hmm.
My first 2 kids have the same daddy, and my other son is like forgiving and understanding. My oldest son,
Yeah.
and my daughter's like, hell no. We're not. I'm not dealing with this dude, and he's sick. So that's mainly why we killed him off the show.
Kidney stuff? Is that all the same?
No, he has heart problems in real life.
We could have told you that years ago.
What do you mean?
I was making a small heart joke based off of at least the character on my television.
Yes.
Is that all true? The shooting you? Was that him?
Yes, that was all true. Yeah. He shot me in the back of the head when I think I was 15 or 16.
A lot of people, and I don't like this, but a lot of people I read were blaming you. They said it's your fault because you didn't duck fast enough.
That's a joke I told.
Imagine if all my questions were just backwards engineering all your bits.
I see I have to pay attention to you.
Oh, how respectful. So I've known your comedy. I mean, I've seen your stuff where I just hadn't seen the show. The show is genuinely, I'll tell them, it's so good. It's also hard to find, right? I mean, BET Plus, I think, is the only place you could
No,
get
you
it.
can get it on Amazon. It's on Amazon.
Is it on Amazon?
Yes.
To stream free?
Yes. It's on Amazon. And it's also on Roku and all of those too.
So I grew up on multicams, and then I don't know if I changed or the format changed.
I think the format changed.
I don't watch them anymore. I mean, no knock on them. I just don't watch them
They
anymore.
don't make them like that anymore either.
This felt like multicam. Like I'm gonna keep. I mean, I watched so many episodes, but I'm gonna keep watching. I mean, this felt like a multicam that I grew up watching, and I don't know why. Do you?
Well, that's what we was going for, like old school TV, like.
I was on a
Norman Lear.
multicam years ago, and that's what everyone's going through that.
Well, let me say this to you. TV had a purpose back in the day. When Norman Lear created Good Times and the Jeffersons, they had messages. We got away from that in TV. I think it was just a bunch of old made up stuff. You know, it was never about what the person at home was watching was going through. So when you're watching something and you really can't relate, you're not interested in it anymore. And I think the reason why Miss Pat feels like an old school sitcom because we talk about the things that going on in the world like TV used to do back in the day. Fresh Prince did it, the Jefferson did it, Good Times did it, all of the shows did it.
Step by step. Relate to my audience, Miss Pat.
I'm 53. I don't know how old you are. But,
29.
Huh?
29.
Oh, I got 2 kids older than you. So TV was a lot better back then, and people just got away with, I think, over the years, rehashing jokes. You can if somebody really wanted to, they can pull up sitcoms, and you will see that same joke in almost every sitcom.
Yeah, I would argue that you could see that in almost all stories being told and movies being told.
No, not in Miss Pat show, because you not in my show, because we make sure that you haven't heard the shit we say. Maybe 1 or 2, but no. And most of it is my stand-up in the first few seasons anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I have so many questions now because I wanted to play with you. I still do. But after watching the show now, like, I want to take advantage of this and, like, because it's such a well-made show, I want to, like, ask specific questions. One of them is, you started off doing very, like, stage play, your opens. You were talking, you see the background that's not lit properly. They're frozen. And then it goes into the play. The sets come in. Then it evolved into stand-up, and then just you on the soundstage talking and seeing the people behind. Why switch from that to that?
Are you talking about episode? Are you talking about the pilot?
Even season 2, it was like, I remember one of the episodes was you talking to the fourth wall.
Okay, so let me tell you, the guy who created this character, he's a playwright. So a lot of times when you see that stuff that feel like theater, that's him. All I can do is tell the stories and act and help out with the jokes. But that's coming out of this 20-something-year-old boy
It's
head.
great.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.
Also, I told you before, but I didn't say on camera, I was under the weather last week. I'm okay now, but I got some stuff going on. And if I don't blow my nose, I'm going to be thinking about it.
Oh, you blow your nose.
I gotta,
Okay.
let me get some tissues aside.
He's really blowing his nose. That was a lot of shit in his nose.
I blow my nose loud. Remember in high school, I was so embarrassed. I would go to the bathroom. Because I remember I said I have to blow my nose, and the teacher offered me a tissue, and I said, I mean, I have to go to the bathroom. Because I was so embarrassed about how loud I was blowing my nose. I'm okay now. So you have a playwright who's doing, but you seem to, in season 4, not do as much of that.
Well, you know, each season is a little different. You know, like if you watch the pilot and you see me talking on a plane and you open up and I'm in front of a comedy audience. Well, that came to be when I just told him, I said, I had 2 writers before him and I said, nobody ever listened to me. I said, but I have this concept that I want to use for the pilot. I said, at the time I was flying Southwest and I said, I love to block off a section where it's just white men or white women and have conversations about the real things that's going on in the world. You know, just...
Wait, you're saying for the show or in life?
So life. So that's why if you watch the very first episode, I'm on a plane. Because I used to have conversation with people that I didn't know. So what do you think about this? And what do you think about this going on in the world? Because I just wanted to hear other people's perspective that did not look like me.
How many white writers do you have? Or not black writers do you have on season 1?
Season 1, I had 1 white writer. But you don't have to be white. You have to be right.
I gotta tell you something, because it rhymes, I think a lot of people are on board with that, but what does that mean?
I don't care what color you are. I just care about how you know how many black people I've been through the Miss Pat show that didn't come back?
No, I'm talking specifically about that point of view that you're saying of wanting to just talk to people that don't look like you. I'm not saying for the show, I'm saying like to write those scenes. You know what I mean? Okay, the pilot is you sitting down talking to a white woman about school shootings and the lottery joke, which is probably written by a black person.
That happened to me. Those are the things I said in my stand-up. That's what.
Wait, you won the lottery? I mean, you got paid for that?
No. So I was telling her in the pilot, I said, if I can remember, it's something about, I think you dropped a turd.
No, that's I am positive that is a pumpkin tree.
Okay.
Fica
あの言葉お分かりですか？
南蛮の言葉は少しなのだ。昨今は街で耳にすることも増え、不安に感じておる者も
責められる。
位置を乗っ取られるか。南蛮貿易は我らが取り仕切らない。それがわしの大仕事となろう。
Would it gross you out if I ate poop for the bit?
Yes, it would.
You need more white writers. Okay.
That's why I don't have.
So you said that. So the joke in the pilot is black people don't even play the lottery anymore. They just wait for one.
They just wait for. That's true. Cause you remember when all the police was killing black people just for no damn reason, just shooting us in the street, pretty much like they do in the Hispanic community now. Remember that? Every month, some young black boy was being killed by the police officer. So I said, don't even play the lottery. Just wait till the police assault you or kill you, and then you can sue for millions of dollars.
And did all of is that true? Did settlements happen? I thought nothing happened from those things.
Yeah, a lot of you're not paying attention what happened to the African American community.
I'm not paying attention to what's happening to the lawsuits that happen after everything.
Yes, a lot of them win for abuse. Killing them. Even George Floyd family won.
Trayvon Martin had money given to the family?
Yes. If I'm not mistaken, yes.
And then, so their family stopped playing the lottery?
Nobody played the lottery. It's a joke.
I know. We got to get... I'm going to take responsibility because I'm the host. And I'm asking you real questions that I understand, but I was kidding about that part.
Okay, yeah. Okay, you just saved me from getting upset. I was like, God dang it.
Yeah, no, I saw that coming. and I'm a little sick too, so maybe I'm not reading the room perfectly, but like, you're so funny. And I want to play with you. And like I said, but I want to ask these questions, so we'll settle in a little bit. I'll stop making jokes about eating poop.
Okay.
And I do want to know, because you were talking about playwright into each season changing its format, and I love the show so much. And I missed a lot of that play stuff that you guys were doing earlier on, and I was curious how much of that conscious choice was because we wanted to have new stuff every season, or because you just went away from it.
I think with the co-creator, I really leave that up to him how each season is gonna flow. So, like, if you notice, we left you on a big cliffhanger in season 4, and I think season 3 we did. So it's just according to the things that we come up or the stories that we tell.
You still did some like some of the devices. I think it was season 2. You had one where you were talking to your younger self about your hair.
Yes, that was based off my life.
and there was no.
あれが
If
兵
you
士
were doing this in a
揉め
single
事に巻き込
cam
ま
or
れ
in
て
a
も
movie, there would have been a different there was no mirror. It was you looking in a mirror, but I noticed that there was no effect practically to make it look like you're looking in a mirror. There's just a hole in the wall. Clearly, the other actress is there, and that's where it feels like a play. You did it in season 4 too, in one of the episodes where you were going back. Is it? I don't remember. I don't know who it was. Is it your sister?
My niece going back to Atlanta.
Yeah, but who is it that's selling drugs again?
That was the girl from I know you're talking about. That was my cousin. So that was based off a cousin in my real life. We sold drugs together.
And then you got out, and
I
she
got
didn't.
out, and then she's still with
that's
it. And then, yeah. And there she's with she was giving that same thing to her daughter.
Yeah, and then you had there was that device where the lights change, and then the two kids come out, and you
Yes.
watch it, and you said, "We got out." By the way, I mean, maybe I cry. I'm a crier,
too.
but I'm crying in a lot of those episodes, and I'm not relating in the way that you said. Like, I don't have the same. White people don't have the same relationship with hair as black people do.
Yes.
And I'm crying thinking about that stuff. So when you said that, like, Norman Lear stuff and like everyday people could relate to, there's something about it, and this is me still trying to figure out why don't multicams work for me the way they used to, that I'm not necessarily relating to the stories, but I do relate to the relationships in them and like the emotions behind them. And like, I feel emotional now. Just like, it's sincerely such a powerful, great show, and I don't know why. I don't relate to a lot of those stories. And like, if
茶の
I
作
were
法
to
が
want
学べる
to
と
do
こ
a
ろをご存知で
multicam,
しょうか
what advice would I get from that outside of just you get lucky that it
どな
works?
たです
Well, I think the great part about the Miss Pat show is that you have a creator, which is me, who's based off of my life. So I have a
今
lot
こ
of
こで
unique
茶を買うておるのが
stories.
早急
And
殿な
another
ら
great
同
part
じ
is my
世辞を申したのであろうな。
he
Tell me his
does,
name again. I
his
forget.
name is Jordan E. Cooper. He does a lot of, he does play. He's a playwright. So I think with the stories that I've been through in life, you know, he's playwright and
商い
his
に来てお
brains
りますが
together,
同
we
行の人
brought
のつながりを
together, you know, the Miss Pat show. A lot of that stuff, looking in the mirror, and it was actually a person on the other side. I don't think nobody else could have thought of that but Jordan, because it's in his mind. And you know, he listened to all the stories that I had to tell in my life. Me personally, if I was directing the episode, which I don't care to direct, I probably would have put it in a mirror and did a spatial effect. But having that little girl in front of me to do that scene was so powerful for me. I felt it. And I think the little girl who was acting me at the time also felt it. And it, you know, it trickled down to the audience, because by the time that scene was over, everybody was in tears.
I do think there is something to that, like playwright. Maybe this is an obvious thing because multicams are stage plays,
ち茶
but I think that's a big part of it. It's a
金の
play.
この使い
Yes,
が
and we run it like a play.
Yeah.
We jump from room to room, a scene to scene, and it's, you know,
周
I'm
りを
so
欺くため
grateful
の
that
小
my
袖を見
first
つける
show was a multicam, because I'm a comedian, so I needed that audience. Because when we're just rehearsing, my spirit is just like, oh, when that audience, when those 200 and some people get there on Friday, I'm ready to go. I mean, I come to life because I'm a comic, and I think that's the first time a multicam has ever been shot in Atlanta, Georgia, in front of a live studio audience. So they really appreciate it.
My first show was a multicam, and I haven't been on one since, and I miss that. Having an audience there is really special.
I love a multicam. I've been to many tapings of single cam, and they're long, they're boring. And if you try, to me, when you do a single cam as a comedy, you have nobody to verify that the jokes is funny.
Yeah, I get what I disagree. It's different. You don't get that audience validation.
Yes.
But, you know, I mean, when you're with your friends, you laugh. Like, you don't need... I love acting so much. And single cam stuff, like when you hear the people behind the camera laughing, or when you're laughing during rehearsal, it's a different thing. It's a different sense of acting. Like, I feel like when you're on a multicam, it's performance close to stand-up.
Yes.
anyway, I feel like the need to defend it because single cam. I mean, do you watch single cams?
I'm quite sure I do.
But are you not a big TV watcher though?
I'm not a big TV watcher.
Yeah, I love television, and there's so many. I mean, New Girl is one of my favorite shows, and that's a single cam. And I'm also friends with some of those people, and I've seen like, and also when you watch the bloopers of The Office or something, it's just so much fun. But your show is you don't necessarily cry in every episode.
No.
But it is one of those shows where it's like
emotional.
Yeah.
Damn near every episode is emotional. I mean, because it's just, I really want to talk about, we really wanted to talk about things that everyday people go through. Like I have an episode where a middle-aged woman got an abortion. I've had 2 abortions myself, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't have it by my husband, or I didn't have it in my 50s, but I had a girlfriend that had an abortion when she was in her 50s. So, and
she got pregnant in her 50s?
Well, close to 50, yes. And it was her choice. And that's why we did the episode. And then when I went to him and I said, Jordan, I know somebody who this happened to. I won't say it, but I know somebody who, I won't say their name, but I know somebody who this happened to. So I think we need to talk about that. You in your late 40s and you get pregnant, you don't want to, some women want to keep the baby and some women don't. So it should be all choice. And it was a whole abortion episode. Like, who are you to tell me about my body? Just because I'm married to you don't mean you own me. Don't mean you have the right over my body. I mean, you could be married and get into bed with your wife and she don't want to have sex with you and you force her to. And so that's the message we tried to. And, that's the message we tried to send. In most of those episodes, especially from season 1 to 3, is things I had been through or known somebody had been through. And I think that's why the Miss Pat show resonates with the audience. No matter what color you are, all race of people come over to BET Plus for the Miss Pat show. Believe it or not, all kind of people. I'm a very liberal type person, but I have a lot of conservatives that go over there and watch that show. I love my show. I love your show, Miss Pat, but I don't like that other bullshit you be talking about. But it's okay, because I try to create something for everybody.
If you believe that people should be able to do what they want with their bodies, in real life, would you have a conflict with one of your kids wanting to donate his kidney?
No, I mean, for his daddy, I would say my opinion. But if he gonna run out there and open his asshole and let them take his kidney for a daddy...
I don't think you know how kidneys are taken out.
Well, wherever it come out of it. If he want to do it and he's old enough of age, that's fine with me. But I'm a mom, so I'm always gonna give you my opinion. I'm always gonna try to guide you and tell you what I think is best for you. But in the end, if you're grown, hey, you know what's best for you, and you gotta go out there and learn the hard way.
I don't remember the details of this. Go away. But my buddy John told me.
Yeah, like he was next.
Wow, Miss Pat is perfect. Oh, it's perfect.
What I love about the Perfect Gene is the way they look. I like the way they feel. I like that the weight feels like it's a little bit of an elastic. So it's not like it's gonna fall off you and reveal or your hairy pussy. But what it will do is make sure it feels like, oh, I can go out to a fancy dinner while wearing pants, but feel like I'm wearing pajamas and I can go to sleep in my slotty cock or hairy pussy.
I'm a goblin on the go. I need a kind of gene that's going to be good for me. On stage, being a rock star, being a comedian, sitting down all day at the podcast, or at the office. I need my boss, Brad, to not be like, John, when are you going to get some pants on?
Jokes aside, because this sounds like we're being silly because of the no pants stuff, I do want to say, don't remember if I'm telling this story right. I feel like I have to ask him, but I don't think it matters. But I remember he told me a story where one of the actors, there wasn't enough people there during one of the table reads, and he had to play one of the actors that had that word in there a whole bunch. I think this was his first year on it. So obviously he didn't say it, but he said there was so many times, and one, I just think that's really like an awkward, funny situation to be in. But also, that word. I mean, I'm in comedy. I grew up watching a lot of black comedians. That word is not just a word in people's act. It's a punchline a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And it's like a point of view. And it's a very strong thing they're saying. And I'm curious if, just like jokes, where you go through the run-throughs, and like if a joke falls flat, sometimes, at least my experience with rewrite or cut. And if there is any strategy with that word where it's like, hey, let's not use it here so it lands here. Does that make sense? Something I never thought about until watching your show, because it is a punchline a lot of the time.
Well, and it's also, if you notice, we try to cuss. We don't just curse to be cursing. You know, it has to make sense. You've seen shows where they're just saying it for no reason.
Well, it is hard to know the intention of why somebody's saying it. Sometimes it works. I bet you there's some people that watch it and like it and want more swearing, and there's some people that watch it and they get turned off.
Oh, yeah.
So it's so subjective. So how do you know when that works?
We just do us. Because if you try to please the audience, I mean, it's like if you bake the cake. The people who like your cake is gonna come. The people who don't like your cake is gonna go away. So,
pardon me the interruption. This is something I don't mean this specifically for the audience. I'm saying strategy as comedy writers and performers. Are there times where it's written and sometimes it's not, and you just add it for an effect?
Sometimes yes, and then sometimes we remove it. We like, oh, that's just too much. So, and I tell you, if we write 10 N-words in an episode, and we hit the flow, and then as we perform it in front of, as we practice it, we'll get together and say, oh, that's just too much, take it away. So
there's so many layers in it, and it's so interesting, and it's not my culture. And even bringing this conversation up, I'm asking because I'm curious as a writer, but like, I mean, there was one of them where it was being said, and then Quentin Tarantino uses that word a lot. And there was a bit where you call your son Quentin Negro. And there's just like, there's so many layers and bits to this. It's truly such a good show. And I have people on all the time, and I watch podcasts, and a lot of times people gas people up just to promote their thing. I don't know if I take pride in this, but I'm very sincere with like, hey, I saw this, I like this, or whatever. Like, I'm selling this show. I'm telling you, it is such a fantastic show. And gives hope to multicams again. And I just think there's so many layers to it. And I want to know how much is intentional, how much is chemistry, and how much is luck. You know what I mean? I mean, there's got to be all of it, but...
I think it's a lot of chemistry. I don't know about no luck. I think we got pretty good writers. I mean, if you watch this show, you'll see, like I said, we'll put so much in there, then we'll take so much back. I mean, I'm black, so I know how to be black. And that's something nobody can ever take from me. So I know what a real black conversation feel like. You know, if I'm in a house and I call my kid an N-word or a nigger or whatever, I know how much to use it. Because I use it every day. Sit your black ass down. Get your black ass over here. You know, nigga please, or whatever, you know. So I think why it works is because when I'm going through the script, if you're writing for me, I can easily say, that's not how I would say that. Or I wouldn't say this like that.
Yeah.
And
do the other actors feel that they could do the same? Because it's your show. It's going to be easier for first on the call sheet to say, I wouldn't say it like this. I don't like that. Have you had conversations with other actors where they say, hey, this doesn't feel natural? Or do they maybe not even bring that up to you?
I've had not much, because one thing about me, everybody around me is so trying. You have the dad who's come out of theater. You have Tammy Roman, who's been on TV forever. Each one of those kids is, they've been on movies or they've been trained and they get school for it. So not really. And I think the good thing about this show is that the writers know the actor's voice. That's what, I think that's what you're trying to ask me. You know, how do we know how to land it so good with what they say? And I think it's just the writers.
It's
they
very
know.
well written. And that's easier to do for the star of the show, to know your voice. I mean, literally, you could watch it and it's written in your voice. But it does seem like they know the voices of at least the wheelhouses of these other actors, because they're all
funny.
Yeah.
So when I first got to this fat show, and one of the things I told the co-creator, I said, a lot of times when comedians do show, only the star is really funny. And I said, I don't want that. My whole family is funny. You know, the way we rag on each other on that show, that's how we do at the house. My son is funny, my daughter is funny, my husband is funny. Everybody is funny. So that's why you see everybody has a punchline. Or you'll see everybody have a moment in an episode where they get the shine. Because that's my real family. And I think we've had the same writers for at least 3 or 4 of us from the beginning. So everybody knows they know the voice.
Back, yeah.
Yeah, I don't change writing. Because once you learn the voice of this show, this is not an easy show. You know, I've had people come over and just write cuss words because that's just, they think that's how I talk. No, I do curse, but it's out of love. It's out of trying to teach you something. I'm not just walking around the house, motherfucker. I'm not doing that. I'm making a point when I'm cursing.
I have a lot of comedy friends, writers. John and Allison, who work on your show, are always my go-to whenever I'm doing something. If I want help with something, I mean, they are joke machines. They're really, really good. You had a bit, you talked about how this is how I talk, and this is how you talk to your kids. There's a scene where your son asks you to leave the room, and I don't remember what episode it was. Might have been the pilot. Your son asks you to leave the room, and he talks to you in a way that is
disrespectful.
Yes, and I remember specifically when I learned, we're different cultures, and you learn about different cultures from either watching things and hope it's authentic, or just your friends, right? And I grew up in a school with it was Jews, Black people, and Asian people. Just those 3, basically. But like. So I had a lot of Black friends, and I remember certain moments growing up where I learned something like, oh, this isn't my friend, this is Black culture. I mean, it's, I'm maybe being stereotypical, but that's what I know. I remember one of them was, I remember it was the first time I saw him. I love the movie Bebe's Kids, and I remember I learned it at my buddy Lance's house, and he said something to his mom, I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't a lot. It was not, okay, I'm so sorry. You don't really have to. He said something that wasn't disrespectful in my mind. I don't know. Maybe it was, will you look away, I'm blowing my nose. It was something just like that, whatever it was. And I remember the mom didn't even say anything. He stopped himself. He went cold. And he said, I'm sorry, ma'am, for whatever it was. And in that moment, I had a conversation with him. And then I've heard other stuff, and it's like the way, I've heard people do bits, the way white kids talk to their moms versus Black kids talk to their moms. So just when he said, get out of my room, I just thought to myself, oh, I have a feeling I know where this joke is going. And you were walking out, but instead of walking out and closing the door when you left, you used him to close the door and close it in. And it was just a funny physical performance, but it was also like, oh, he shouldn't have spoken to her this way. Obviously, those moments where, and pardon me for nerding out this specific kind of question, but there's 2 things happening. There's, my son would not talk to me this way with me being okay with it.
That's right.
And then there's the physical comedy of it.
Yes.
A lot of jokes are found in the blocking and in the rehearsal. Is that something that, like, you knew you were going to close the door and talk to him that way? Did you know that you were going to use him to do it? Is that pitched to you?
I want to say that was, I want to say I was supposed to throw him up against the wall, but it just so happened the door closed.
So that was an accidental find?
I don't remember, but I think it's in my comic mind. I just slammed the door with him because that was a pilot. It was the first time I ever acted. So one of the things that kept playing in my mind is, what would I do in real life? What would I do if this boy tried to handle me in real life? And that's why when you saw me grab him up in the chest and I threw him up against the door, it was so funny because I thought I had hurt him. If you look at his face,
that was gonna be my next question.
Yeah, he was shocked, and I didn't want to stop the scene, but I was like, I'm acting and I'm just being a black mama. Yeah, we didn't do the physical part in the rehearsal. I kind of jacked him up in the rehearsal, but then I just kept playing through my head, what would I do as a black mother if my son really talked to me like this? And so I ended up slamming his ass into the door, pouring my finger in his face and saying what I had to say. And if you look in Theodore's face, he's like, what the hell? And so when they said cut.
He's great, by the way.
Oh, he is. Once they said cut, I was like, oh my God, did I hurt you? And he was like, no.
Yeah.
But that was playing in my head the whole time I was doing my lines. Like, did I do it too hard? Because I know how I would jack up my real child.
Do you hit your kids? Did you when they were growing up?
Hell yeah. I whooped them.
What kind of hitting?
I spanked them.
So it was a formal, like, all right, it's time for hitting. It wasn't as much of a reactive, you hit something. It was like a specific, why the butt?
I think the butt's supposed to be beat, don't it?
Eleanor Roosevelt. When I was growing up, I didn't get hit too much, but when I did, it wasn't like, all right, bend over, smack. It was just wherever they were, it was smacks
Sometimes
or
it's there,
pushes against
upside
stuff.
the head, pulling the ear, the thigh, whatever. I mean, if I'm mad enough, I sling the
Pulling the
belt.
thigh.
Pulling it here, in the thigh. Pulling the ear,
Okay, pulling the ear and then what, the thigh?
hitting the thigh.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
I remember my dad once.
Pinching.
My dad once, he got mad at something I said to my mom and gave me a wedgie, but like picked me up by my underpants and it was like off the ground. And I remember my mom got mad at my dad because you could really hurt him. And he hurt, that was one of the worst, that was like, and I know that was reactive. Like that was picking somebody up like that.
Did he put splinters in your booty hole?
Splinters?
I mean, you know,
Isn't that
maybe
from wood?
cotton, maybe thread. I can imagine you small little Jewish boy, he pulling the pants up between your ass. Did he cut your crack?
Yeah. And I got my balls a little bit, but it was the sack without a ball got out of the way.
Oh.
Yeah, but
So you down to one nut?
well, coincidentally, I have a varicocele in my left testicle. Do you know what that is?
No, I do not, sir.
I could talk about it.
Well, if you want to tell me what a varicocele is, I'm learning stuff from you today.
Varicose veins, you've heard of those? It's like when
You
people
just
have,
got one thick vein on your nut?
it's a lot of veins. And there's extra veins on my left side of my testicle. Here, let me show you.
No, please don't show me.
I was just gonna show you. I was just gonna take my
I don't
pants
want to
down.
see your ball, sir.
Oh, okay.
I know the varicose vein, and I see your nut in my mind. So it's a little white nut
Thank
with
you.
a whole bunch of thick veins. I'm quite sure that the veins are bigger than the nut.
So the way you said little, I just want you to know, is disrespectful. We say smaller
Oh, I'm sorry, smaller.
because it's smaller than the right, but it's not. It's still a nice nut. Well, to be honest with you, it is actually a bit small, and it's sometimes an insecurity of mine when I'm making love to somebody new. I don't do this anymore, but I used to feel the need to say, I want to let you know that my left testicle is. So let me explain. There's
Well, you
extra
could-
veins, and it surrounds it, so it makes it warmer. So it could cause fertility issues. I had it removed in 11th grade. Came back.
You had your.
Not the varicocele, not the testicle.
Oh my God.
So,
Okay.
And there's there's veins, and it was, when I was younger, it was surrounding the testicle, so it didn't let it grow. So my left testicle is smaller than my right. And when I would, a woman, a consenting, strong woman, would blow me and suck on my balls, I would get a little insecure that she would feel how small the left one is in her mouth. So for a while, I would not let girls suck my balls. And then I just
Who's
realized,
sucking balls?
is this a cultural thing? Wait a minute.
I think it's a generational thing because I don't think they were sucking balls when I was coming up.
Well, I can say that it is multicultural, ball sucking.
Okay. You been with a black woman?
I have.
Did she suck your small ball?
That was during a time when I was insecure about getting my balls sucked. But she was on her way, and I had to stop her. Or not stop her, I had to let her know. That's where I would say, I just want to let you know that my left ball is smaller than my right ball. And they'd be like, you're so hot, Rick.
Who would have noticed it?
That's the thing. They say that I didn't even notice. I don't know if they're being nice.
Because when they cold, they small anyway.
But why are they cold?
I don't know. I'm asking you. Do your nuts get cold?
Do they wobble to and fro? That doesn't rhyme, but it makes sense. Yeah, my nuts get cold. I'm a guy.
Sometimes I think you be talking to yourself.
That's why I'm saying you don't need a live studio audience. I've gotten my balls sucked while I was warm.
Okay.
I can't. So like, this is fun for me because this is also, I think this is important to get out there for people to know. You should get yourself, if you notice that your left testicle is smaller or you feel some veins, it's a varicocele, you can ask your doctor.
Your skin is white. It's easy to feel veins. It is thin. So
My skin is thin?
ain't your
Honey,
nut
not in this
sack-
business.
Huh?
In this business, you have a thick skin. Are you saying
Well,
that
not your balls. Your balls don't do no writing.
my bald skin is thick as fuck? Let me show you something.
No, please don't
Okay,
show me
all
that,
right,
sir.
all right.
Please, I do not want to see no penis I can see through. I don't want to see that.
So you're saying that black people's balls, it's harder to see their veins than white people's balls?
It's harder for you to see my veins now through my skin, but I can see your veins all through your skin.
But the veins in a ball sack are below the epidermis. I learned that word from your show.
I don't know what you're talking about.
About epidermis or ball veins?
Epidermis and the ball sack.
In the episode where your sister was having the hair stuff, and she puts it in your daughter's hair, and it feels like tiny knives are stabbing in, and she's doing all her scientific talk about epidermis.
Oh, that's a smart child. I don't know nothing about her lines.
Okay. Well, then let me just close this by saying the veins in your ball sack are around the balls. You can't really see them, but you can
Okay.
feel them.
Okay. So you check your ball sack for lumps.
Well, my doctor in high school checked my ball sack. He noticed it. I didn't know because at the time I wasn't feeling that many balls. So that's what the balls
Did they
feel like.
remove your ball?
They removed the varicocele. They went in, they cut the veins. But then it
So
came
how
back.
is it working for you now?
Can I show you something?
No.
You keep saying no. Do you think I'm really... Are you just playing with me, or do you think I have to take my pants
I don't
off?
know what you're going to do. So I'm just going to say no, because I don't want to see nothing, okay?
They got rid of my veins. The veins came back.
Okay.
What's season 5? I gotta pull my...
I wish I could show you season 5. I am. You back?
I don't want to turn this whole thing into ball jokes because
Okay.
that wasn't my intention. I was really wanting to talk to you about my balls, about something for real.
Okay.
And it became ball bits. But at the end of the day, I do think it's important that, like, you know, we have a lot of people on the left and on the right, they're only surrounded by their own chambers, and they're only hearing about stuff that like this and this, and it's important that people come together. And I mean that as a pun. However, when you have apparently black people that don't know about white people's balls, I do think it's important that this conversation happens.
I don't think black people care about white people's balls.
And that's the problem.
Do you care about black people's balls?
Who are you talking to? Do I care about it?
Yeah.
Honey, I wrote my thesis on it. I'm going to live to the audience after that. So this is your first acting job.
Yes.
It's now the #1 show on the network.
Yes.
You're going into season 5, and that means all of your acting experience is multicam.
Yes. I've done a few things since then, but yes, all of my acting is mostly multicam.
You guys laugh sometimes in the show, and I can't tell. I don't know what's real and what's character, but my intuition tells me that when there's those laughters and those smiles, they're real. And I think that's a great thing to leave in.
Well, you know what? That was the co-creator Jordan E. Cooper idea. He's because he grew up on multicam, and he just loved it. And at first I was like, you gonna leave people laughter in? And it's so funny because if you ever come see a live episode, you can hear everybody laughing. I can tell when my kids are laughing, when Jordan or Patrick or anybody's laughing, I know their laughter. So when you see us really laughing in those things and he leave them in, you know, especially when we break character. And we be trying not to now.
I haven't seen it to a point, and I haven't seen all the episodes, but I haven't seen it to where it felt like it was even breaking character once.
Well,
Can you give an example of when you feel it's breaking character?
Oh, you'll see me laughing all the time. I'll be breaking character, but they just keep it in.
Yeah, it doesn't read to me. I mean, I believe that it's you laughing, but it also, to me, works for the character. So I don't think of it as technically breaking character.
Well,
I think of it as people being real and having multiple emotions.
Exactly, but you know they call it breaking character.
Sure.
When you get Tammy Roman, who never even she will hold her laughter until they say cut.
Which Tammy
That's
Roman
my
is,
sister.
She's great.
Yes, she is. That's my sister. So, and then you get where you get the son Theodore, and you always see a little smirk on his face because he just loves comedy, and sometimes he just can't hold it. And you know, like here in season 5, which is hilarious, and in the first episode, you can see him laughing so many times. Which, like, to you, because you wasn't there during the filming, it looks naturally. But to me, I know he don't supposed to be laughing there.
Yeah. In real life, people tell a joke. Sometimes they laugh, sometimes they don't. But you could be in a fight with somebody and get a little bit of a smirk out of them, and then like, fuck, I don't want to laugh, you know, whatever. But those emotions are layered, and I think that's real life. And when I watch shows that somebody tells a joke, and then that's a funny joke, and the other person, even if they don't laugh, they don't acknowledge that joke. It's just joke. It's not. It's just like that's television in a bad way, in an unbelievable way to me. I think that showing laughter just adds more layers to it, and it's just, I've thought about this before, but shows don't really, Seinfeld showed it sometimes, but shows don't show laughter, and I wonder if it's because the editors or direct showrunner think that it takes away from the performance.
Yes.
I think I think that's another layer of what makes your show, not that that's what all shows do, but what makes your show feel like I believe it.
Well,
is that?
Well, and I agree with you. And that was a conversation me and the show, me and the co-creator, which is the showrunner now, had. I was like, "You sure you want to leave this in?" And he's like, "It feels natural. So when you look at it, you feel like, now if you busting out laughing, well, why the hell the actor ain't busting out laughing? Like if you watch the episode with me and Tammy go inside the beauty salon, and because this girl wants to rip her off with her boyfriend, and I had to be on the cover. I couldn't stop laughing because I really didn't know how to go on the cover. And you can see it all over my face, and you can see Tammy like, what the hell are you doing, Pat? But you know, she rolled with it. And you can, if you look around in that scene, you can see other people with a little smirk on their face too, because it's funny. And I think when people see the actors laughing, or whatever you want to call it, breaking character, it makes them, you know, really come into that scene with you. Hey, they're real. I feel like this can happen to me at a beauty salon.
Yeah, so the difference to me between laughing and breaking character, and they're not mutually exclusive, is, and this isn't necessarily the right thing, but just my mind for when it works and doesn't. Breaking character is almost always funny if you believe them. Like when you watch somebody on live television and they break, it's funny because you're seeing the humanity of it, right? It could take you out of the scene a little. Like sometimes on stage, I'm trying to do a bit, and it makes myself laugh, and now I'm like, well, now they know I'm joking, and I just feel like I can't keep going with it anymore. So sometimes, if somebody laughs and like to try and hide the laugh and try not to laugh, it's like, oh, I'm seeing a performer doing something that they're not wanting to do. Okay, here's an example. If when you're laughing going in the beauty salon and then you turn away or you cover your mouth or you go like that, I'm watching a performer trying to hide their emotions. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But when somebody laughs and they're present and they're allowing themselves to laugh and they're laughing in character, to me, it doesn't take away. This doesn't matter to you. I just think about this stuff and I like talking about it. But I do think there's something to not hiding the emotion. Like, acting coaches will tell you, excuse me, when you have a scene and it's written that you're supposed to cry, like some performers are trying to cry, and you can see them trying to cry, or their eyes water a little, so they're blinking to try and get it to go down their face. And that's them trying to force an emotion. I feel that way with laughter. I saw an interview with Sandler once. He said the hardest thing to do as an actor is to fake laugh.
Oh.
And I very much connect to that, right?
Yes, I don't think I ever fake laugh.
Well, good.
I don't know how.
But if a scene calls for it,
yeah,
yeah, you know, it's tough
that.
to do.
You know, when I first got the Miss Pat show, that show actually belongs to Fox. So Fox is where I originally sold the Miss Pat show, along with Lee Daniel and Ron Howard Company. Imagine. So Hulu,
Imagine produces it?
Yeah, it's Imagine.
I don't know. That's cool. I saw Brian Grazer's part of it.
Yeah, so it's Imagine. So we go over to the Fox lot, and Hulu purchased the Miss Pat show. As we about to shoot the Miss Pat show on the Fox lot, we decided to go and watch some other shows. Some multi-cams, some single cams, some shows, a bunch of pilots were being shot at that time. And which was crazy to me is they had people that's called higher laughters.
In the audience.
In the audience. Yeah. And I didn't know that. So they had these group of people that come in, and they had the script, and they told them what a joke was. So I said, well, maybe this is just for today because this is rehearsal. So you come back on the main. You come back on the main day when it's a live studio audience, and those fake laughters are still there. And I was like, holy shit. They hire people to laugh. So I remember looking at Jordan saying, we're not gonna do this. If it's not real, we're gonna keep writing until somebody laughs. And that blew me away. That blew me away. I did not know that they hire fake laughers.
I mean, you've seen things where, like, there's an applause sign, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of comedy specials are done that way. Paid audiences. Yeah, if people can't fill the full audience, I mean, it's not
What's the purpose of shooting a special then?
Well, let's say you're filming, you're doing 2 tapings and it seats 500 people and you sell 400 seats per show. Instead
That's
of leaving the
enough to tape
100.
in.
What's that?
That's enough to tape in.
I'm not saying right or wrong. I'm just saying logistically, this is how stuff's done. Audience fillers.
Yeah, I know those. I see them all the time at the award shows.
Yeah, and then sometimes it's like, you know, they're instructed. Like you guys have a warm-up? Not a warm-up,
We do. We have a warm-up person.
Yeah, is that what they're called?
Mm-hmm.
Where like even during scene changes and everything, they keep the audience. Yeah, so like they'll still even tell people, so this thing is about to come up, make sure you laugh at it.
No, we don't say that. We don't say that. We never ask you to laugh. We hope you go. We know you're gonna laugh. And if you don't laugh, guess what? The writers are on the floor. We're gonna rewrite it until you laugh.
And that's the difference. Sometimes an audience will do things like this.
Yes.
You think there's ever any shows where the warm-up people tell them to do that? Or is it just laugh?
Well, we allow real emotions. So we had an episode.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I am. This is not an attractive thing, either physically or just to be talking to somebody.
It's human. You got shit in your nose. But
Eleanor Roosevelt.
we had an episode where Junebug was damn it, I forgot what I was about to say again.
Letting people have real emotions.
Okay. What was the episode Junebug was in?
Want a drink?
No, I don't want anything to drink, but you got a nice refrigerator.
Have fun?
Yes. Damn it, I was about to tell you about an episode where Junebug was in. I don't forgot.
Talk about the difference between white balls and black balls.
No, I don't want to talk about no more balls. We can keep talking about the sitcom.
Do you, are you on a podcast run at the moment where you're doing a lot of stuff to promote the show?
I'm doing a lot of podcasts, yes. And I just did Jimmy Kimmel last night, and I did Jennifer Hudson.
Ooh, fun.
It was fun.
Do you know her?
I know her from being on the show. I've never hung out with her.
What is it? What's her fan army name? Jennifer Hudson Heads?
I don't know what her fan is.
I'm a Jennifer Hudson Head.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Well, I call my fans the crack babies.
The crack babies?
Yes.
You weren't a crack baby. You raised crack babies, or you were a crack baby.
No, my mom, crack was not around in 72.
Okay.
So,
I know. I know. Crack came around 86.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm hip.
Yeah, I see.
So, also, and pardon me, you probably talked about this stuff on other pods, because I don't know your life story outside of your stand-up and the show.
Mm-hmm.
You got pregnant when you were 13.
Yes, gave birth at 14.
And gave birth at 14. And
got pregnant again at 14, gave birth at 15.
Same man.
Mm-hmm.
Who then shot you.
Yes, he's a married man.
Right. Yeah, your joke where you say that because you met him when you were 12, you were the only kid in elementary who had a boyfriend with a car.
Mm-hmm.
And his wife came to talk to you to have an abortion.
Mm-hmm.
And there was an ice cream truck and asked if you wanted any ice cream. You're 13. So funny, wild. 2 questions. One is, you said you in real life you had abortions.
Yes.
What is the frame of mind to where a person who's willing to have a child at 14 and 15,
Yes.
you would think one would, I mean, this is obviously not, it's a bit of a blanketed statement, but if you were going to have the abortion, you would have had it then. Then time goes on, and you're like, okay, I don't want to have...
I couldn't afford it. Time was hard.
Wait, you couldn't afford the abortion?
I couldn't afford... Once you have a baby, yeah, everybody got a motherly instinct in you. You know, women do. And I think once you give birth, that instinct wakes up. So I have 2 kids by this married man who, you know, at first I was like, oh my God, I just love him. I thought he was the world. He's the first person that said he loved me. And all the shit he took me through. So by the time I have that first baby, I'm just know he's gonna be up for me. He's gonna take, I mean, in my head, I'm a little girl and I got these dreams, you know.
What dreams?
He's gonna, you know, he's gonna be the daddy that I never had to my kids. And so, you know, I'm just living in la la land. Then I get pregnant again. And then I'm growing up. Now, mind you, I done had a baby. So
And who's helping you raise the baby?
A little bit of my mom, but really I'm on my own. I'm making fake ID. I'm getting jobs. I'm dropped out of school. 8th grade.
Is that when you started selling drugs, or were you selling before then?
No, that's when I started selling drugs after my second child. So I'm out here trying to survive. So I'm all picking up all this street knowledge, and I'm realizing that I got 2 kids that I cannot take care of. I get a welfare check and I'm selling drugs. I got an 8th grade education, and I'm thinking like, how am I gonna keep these kids from getting molested? How am I gonna keep these kids from going through what I went through? So when I got pregnant by him again, because here I'm young, I'm dumb, I'm in love, I just wanna be loved, but the man don't love me. And then when I got pregnant, I was like, I can't keep no baby.
What was the 3rd pregnancy with him again?
All of them was with him. Yeah.
Well, you have 2 kids with your husband, don't you?
Yeah. I have 2 kids. I kept those.
You said you had 2 abortions?
Mm-hmm. By him.
He got you pregnant 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
What was the moment that I'm not going to let him get me pregnant anymore? Was it before or after the shooting?
It was after the shooting.
That'll do it.
It wasn't really about him shooting me, because I thought that was love. I thought he loved me, because, you know, he had many girlfriends. And so if he shoot me, I feel like I was special.
So logically, I could appreciate how that doesn't make sense. But emotionally, for what you connect what love is, could you explain?
Love to me was abuse. Let me back up. So I don't know if you ever heard me say this. My mama said, if a man don't hit you, he don't love you. So I thought every punch was love. I thought every mistreatment was love.
Did your mom hit you?
Yeah, and my mom also got hit. So she passed me down the trauma that was passed down to her. So when you tell a little girl, if a man don't punch you in the eye, he don't love you. So I thought, you know, if I could make him jealous or he beat on me, I supposed to accept it.
Did you feel loved by your mom growing up?
No, at all.
But if your mom hit you, which meant she loves you, but you didn't feel loved by her, why does that translate differently to somebody else?
It didn't translate till I got older. I didn't know. It was way...
I'm sorry, just because I want to understand. When you were 13...
My mom wasn't whooping me at 13 anymore.
But when you were... Oh, okay. So
by this time...
So when you were 13, you thought being hit was love. When you were younger, you didn't. Being younger and being hit conditioned you to feel that way?
No, my mama had conditioned me early on. Probably, you know, from birth probably, until I met him. You know, she always whooped us really rough. She's always talked down to us. She always mistreated us. I do think she did love us, but she showed us the love that was shown to her. You know, hurt people until somebody break that cycle. So she passed it on down. So when I got in this relationship, and my mama never used the word I love you. He was the first person that said I love you. So I fell over here because I was like, finally, I got somebody to love me. And back to why I didn't abort my first child and why I didn't abort my 3rd child, because I thought in my head, if I gave birth to this baby, finally I will have somebody in my life that really loves me. Because this child, I'm raising this child. Nobody else can poison this child against me. So this child gonna come out straight, just loving me. And it's a love that I needed, I wanted, you know, I had never had. So when I had my daughter, I knew I finally had somebody that loved me. And when I had my son, about not even 15 months later, here I am 15 years old, I'm underage, I can't get an abortion. And so I become emancipated minor through the Georgia, my caseworker. She helped me become an emancipated minor. So I got my own welfare check and my own Medicaid. And at the time, people don't even know this, you could get an abortion on Medicaid. Well, when I got pregnant again by him, I took my Medicaid slip down there and got an abortion each time.
You have a joke in your show where you said, because the difference between your first 2 kids and your second 2 kids, and you said
Medicaid and Blue Cross.
those are your Medicaid kids. You have to raise them different than the Blue Cross kids.
Yes.
That's where that comes from?
That's exactly where it's come from.
It's such a good show.
Thank you.
It really is. And hearing you talk about, I believe that this is all coming from real stuff, but hearing you talk about it and how directly related it is, not just inspired by, which is not a problem anyway. I'm sure a lot of stuff is. Like you said, you take stories from other people. But like, man, that's wild. And there's another joke too where you apologize to your cousin for getting you into it, but you got out.
For getting her into it.
Yeah,
That's
for
true.
drugs. And she said, you're the 1%, but the other 98%, we didn't. And then that joke, it wasn't for another 20 seconds before it's revealed that, it's 99%, not 98%. What I liked about that joke is, 1, the joke itself, but 2, it's a character joke. It's not just a punchline. It's, at least for me, commentary on this person who is not well off. Not that being stupid and being uneducated are the same thing by any means, but here's somebody who did not get out and doesn't know that simple math, and I don't know if that was intentional or not, but then...
It was a joke.
But the way it translated to me was, yes, it's a joke, but your sister, didn't call it out until she left the room, instead of saying it to her, which I thought was a cool choice, because 1, it lets the viewer, like, are they gonna acknowledge this? So it builds that tension, but also it was something where you two were out, and she isn't, and I just thought that it was just, and maybe that was just an accidental thing, but the commentary on that, and like, to then at the end of that episode, you seeing you girls as kids, which, by the way, those actors are what, 12, 13 years old, and I mean, I would love to see how that was directed, just because of the language and the intensity of it.
When they first started it, and that scene was so emotional for me, because it made me, it took me back there. And I remember the first time they rehearsed it, and I went over to Jordan and I said, I don't feel it. And so I go up to their parents and I say, do you mind if they say a few cursing words? And they was like, no, I don't mind.
Why? Because that's what was real?
That's what was real. That's what I would have said if I was standing there. Those are the conversations I had with my cousin.
That's the example that I meant about the cussing feels so intentional.
Yeah, so as I go up to the little girls and I said, I tell them, I tell them how to deliver the lines, because this is me and my cousin B at the time in my life. And, how I got out and how, she felt like I left her behind and I owe her something. And I remember standing there, even in that scene, watching it, fucking boo-hooing. Because, I never look at my life as getting out. But when I shot that scene, I felt it. And that probably was the first moment in my life when I realized I did get out.
Was while filming it?
Yes, while filming it, it made me realize I did get out. I did break the cycle. I did change my life. I come from a family, a household of high school dropouts. I dropped out of 8th grade myself, and convicted felon child, being molested, alcoholism, abuse, and I'm standing there and I'm watching these 2 girls tape that scene, and I realized I did get out. And my kids have never endured the things that I went through. And I remember walking off that scene, going home that night, and I shed a few tears. Because I don't sit back and look at my life like, oh, I made it. This is work to me. This is work. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know I was abused until I became a comedian. Until everybody was like, what the hell? That story real? That you telling the truth? I'm like, yeah. I'm thinking I'm an inner city kid, pregnant by a married man, which was, I thought it happened in everybody. And it does. At first I thought it only happened to the black community. And then once I became a comedian, I realized this shit happened in every race of people. What's different with me is I say it out loud. And a lot of people shun for me or they hide from it. And they don't want to talk about it. You know, I know so many people who had kids really young, but their kids don't even know that they had them that young. But I just learned not to be ashamed of anything. And so when I became a comedian, I realized that I had a messed up life. And I said, well, I either embrace my life or I turn my back and act like this stuff never happened. So one day I sat down and I watched Eminem in what was it? 8 Mile. And he was in that rap
I am
battle.
white, I am a country bum. I do live in a trailer with my dad. My best friend is a no-good two-time kid.
So as he's rapping, as the old boy rapping against him, and they go to that rap battle, and Eminem goes up first, and he says everything about himself. And old boy had nothing to say. And I said, that's the technique I'm gonna take to comedy. I'm gonna tell you everything about me, so you'll never have to ever say anything about me, because I've already put it out there.
And your name's Clarence. You went to a private school.
So that's a technique. That was a healing moment for me watching that Eminem do 8 Miles, and it made me not be ashamed of what I've been through in life. And and it kind of gave me the courage to say it out loud. Stop, because I wasn't doing that at first. When I first started doing comedy, I wasn't telling nobody I had 2 kids by the age of 15. I've been molested, I've been shot, I've been abused. But I said, well, if I don't say it out loud, I'm just gonna forever carry this inside of me. And once I started talking about it, it became a healing moment.
Were you doing comedy before you were talking about it and not talking about that stuff?
Yeah, I was doing comedy. I was just talking about bullshit, BS. Yeah, so after I became a comedian, I started to talk about it. And then I wrote that joke about the Blue Cross Blue Shield, and that's what I did it on Mark Maron podcast and Joe Rogan. And then I went and did all this stuff with developing a show. And so when I met the third writer, which was Jordan Cooper, and he wanted to dig deep. I mean, he wanted to dig deep. And like some stuff we was gonna do in season 1, I said, you can't do it. I didn't do it in season 3. My boyfriend molested me. I said, I'm not ready to do that. And we had a whole episode on it in season 1, and I took it out. So it was healing. The more I scream to the top of my voice that I've been molested, I've been mistreated, but it's okay. And that's what I tell people. You can't change the past, but you can control the future. As long as your health is there.
When you said in that moment that to your daughter, or to you, that like you made it out.
Yeah.
I mean, that wasn't just watery eyes. I mean, it's down the face. Even now thinking about it, and hearing you say that you, as an artist, hearing you say that you didn't connect with it at first, and you wanted to, obviously, and then you made some altercations. Altercations, am I saying the right word? Some adjustments.
Adjustments, yes. So I could feel it.
Yeah, and then you feel, and because it felt that way. It felt that way. Watching the performer, do that, like it was that line. One of my best friends, also an ex-girlfriend of mine, Jackie Tone, she's been on this podcast a lot. I remember she told me years ago that when she hears people say, I did it, it makes her emotional. Like, I did it. Like, the acceptance and awareness of accomplishing something that you felt maybe you couldn't or wouldn't. Like, look what I did. That made me think of that. Like, here's a person that in the script is telling the younger self, we're going to be okay. But it felt like it was for you, like, oh my God. So hearing you say that was something that you felt is another reason why I think the show.
Yeah. Now I remember when I asked the co-creator, I was like, can I make these adjustments? And he was like, yeah. And I stood there and I coached the 2 girls. And then I said, okay, now we feel it. Now I feel it. Now we can tape it. Because what I needed to do in that scene is go back to where
the real you or the character?
Are you talking about the drug? Are you talking about the 2 girls who were selling drugs?
Yeah, but you said I needed to go back. Who are you talking about? You or the character?
I needed to. So if you notice in that scene, I was standing there watching the 2 younger girls beat up. So I needed to feel them.
Yeah.
So I can go back to where they was at. So that day, standing on that corner on Ashby Grove is where I went to in my mind. That is what I felt. because me and my cousin sold drugs on that corner. So what y'all saw in that studio is not what I was seeing. I was seeing me and my cousin at 16, and I think my cousin a couple years younger than me at 13 and 16 or something like that, selling drugs. And I'm standing on the side with a TV show with a pretty successful life saying.
With a what?
With a pretty successful life, looking back at
I'm
that
sorry, I'm not
situ-
understanding what that means. What's set for life?
A pretty successful life on country. Looking back at, you know, the two little girls standing on the corner and saying, we made it. I made it. We out. And, you know, not one time ever that I thought that, I didn't know what I was thinking when I was selling drugs. All I was trying to do was survive. And to look at me where I'm at today, I always say I was chosen to do the things that I did for some reason. Because now all I hear from people, Miss Pat, you don't know how much you healed me. I had a white dude tell me last weekend, he said, when you told that story about you putting the dope in your daughter's diaper, he was like, I knew you was real because that's what I used to do. And so these are stories that I had that a lot of people probably would have never said out loud. But it was also healing for me too. You know, from being molested, from having kids, and being abused, and being shot.
Tell me why you got shot. Like, what was going through his mind when he shot you? What happened? What's that story?
Well, I was shot twice, so when
Same man?
It's different. The first time I was shot,
you know,
the first time I was
Larry
shot.
King never asked. So when were you shot? Give me 1 second. You know, he blows his nose.
The first time I was shot by another drug dealer, and it hit me in the breast. And the second time I was shot by him. He hit me with a gun and went off and took some back of my head out.
So he was meaning to pistol whip you?
Yes, I was dating another guy. It was a fight.
It was an accident.
I guess.
I'm joking. Why was he hitting you?
Because he always hit me. Because
And that's
what
him
his
showing
way of
love.
control.
Did you have an idea as a 14, 15-year-old that he's hitting me, that means he loves me? I understand you believe that. Was there also something where you thought, I don't like what love is?
I had friends around me saying, older friends, like, "Hey, you crazy as hell."
わしは職人
As the abuse kept
わしだ
going, I watched the movie What Love Got to Do with It.
I don't remember. I know I've seen
Tina
it.
Turner.
Yeah, I don't
That was
remember
her
the movie well
story,
enough.
and Ike was
Yeah.
beating on her. And I was like,
But you were saying when you saw the Ike stuff, you were like, that's not good. Or you thought, oh, he loves her.
no, I was like, that's what I'm going through. Why am I accepting this shit? Why am I accepting you?
That's what made you realize it?
I mean, it was kind of like an eye-opener.
Yeah.
Because when you're in love with somebody, or you think you're in love with somebody, and you grew up in the way I grew up, and it was the first person in my life that I really thought loved me, I didn't want to lose that. So I accepted a lot of the bull crap behind it that I thought I was supposed to accept. I know I don't have to accept that. Now, I've been married for 32 years. He ain't never disrespect me and beat on me and treat me the way that last one did. But I look at life like this. You got to go through something to get to something. And what I did was went through something, and now I got something.
What's love got to do with it? And 8 Mile made you who you are today.
Pretty much.
Your show, you believe, offers that to other people. And is that
I
what you
do.
mean by chosen?
Yes, because, you know, like, everybody can't stand up and say they've been through in life, and they've been through so much trauma and pain, and, you know, people handle it different ways. My sister smoked crack, and I believe the reason why my sister's on crack is to hide the things that we've been through in life. The molestation, the beating, and not being loved, and the abuse. She dealt with her pain a different way. I dealt with mine probably overeating, and then comedy came along.
How old were you when that happened?
What?
The overeating? No, the comedy.
Probably all my life. I've been doing comedy now for over about 23 years.
I don't know how old you are. And
I'm
you don't-
53.
Oh, so you started at 30?
I started about 28. About 30.
Were you you weren't talking about this at all before comedy? Were you in therapy?
No, I've never been in therapy. I never been to therapy. I talked a little bit about it. So I had gotten married. So I talked a little bit about it.
How old were you when you got married?
29.
So you started comedy and got married around the same
Yeah,
time?
around the same time. Then 4 or 5 years later, I had a baby.
The conversation of asking a comedian how they got into comedy is, to me, not always the most interesting conversation because, I don't know, I'm just not that interested in it a lot of the time. With you, I think it's so interesting, and I would love to ask you why you started doing comedy.
I started doing comedy because I was getting my life back together, and I voted for Bill Clinton, and he started the welfare to work program. So I have to report to the caseworker because they want to change your mindset and get you out the system. I ran into a black caseworker named Miss Chambers, and I started telling her all of these horrible things that happened to me. And I'll never forget one of the stories that she could not stop laughing at. I grew up in a bootleg house with my grandfather. My brother stole my auntie food stamps.
What's a bootleg house?
Where they sell moonshine.
Oh, literally bootleg.
Yeah, like a bootleg house. And so my granddaddy sold single cigarettes and alcohol, like shots and beers and stuff like that. And my brother stole my auntie's food stamps.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. What? Alcohol wasn't illegal.
It was. You could not sell alcohol without a license. My granddaddy was like a convenience store.
Okay.
His house, our house.
So he just didn't have a liquor license.
Well,
and
he was selling
wanted to
moonshine.
sell it. Right.
So he was selling little shots for 50 cents on a
I guess
dollar.
I just think of moonshine as when alcohol is banned. But
no.
I guess
You don't supposed to sell. Well, this is in the 70s.
Yeah.
The early 80s. You weren't supposed to be selling
But
that.
why is anybody buying moonshine from him instead of just going to a liquor store?
Because my grandfather sold corn liquor, and they didn't sell it in the stores.
So people were just wanted it to be corn?
I guess, I don't know. But that's what he sold. He sold that and beer. And so, and also in Georgia, they did not sell alcohol on Sundays. So that's when my granddaddy was the busiest. Late night Saturdays and Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays.
You could do that with Chick-fil-A now.
Chick-fil-A don't open on Sundays.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. So we steal my aunt food stamps, and I'm telling this story to my caseworker, and I was like, oh, I had such a rough life, and she was like, well, tell me your story. I tell her about we stole the food stamps, and we down and like Laffy Taffy and catching